do it today. Hey, hey, hey. Let's do it today. Hey, hey, hey. Are we live? I don't know yet. I still ain't been able to get on my stream thing yet. Nothing seems to be working for me. But it looks like we are live, so I can send out the black signal, letting the family know we gathering around the digital campfire. Yup. Let's get it. I had to change my setup, but hey! Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should I say, breathe, then drink. Now, grab your glass for that water. Get your picture of that water. Lift that picture of that water. Simply pour your water. Drink. Or should I say, pour, then drink. But it's sneeze. But hey, now move your body, drink some water. Stretch. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Family, move your body. Drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Now, move, take it back to the dry water. Move your body, drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Raise and toast your ancestors. Drink. Or should I say, move, breathe, toast. Man, I messed up the song, sitting up here trying to do 2 and 3 things, trying to read what's going on the timeline. Just totally mess up the song, but y'all get the message. Those that are new to Gye-Nyame Journey, we usually start our day. I know most of y'all started your day already, but during the weekends, you know, we kind of laid back and it's like, boom, we do it and you catch me when you can. So family, I want to thank you for those that got the time to come out here and chill with me. Go and text up your day name. Go and text up your city. Let us know where you are. If you are in the chat, we are live right now on Facebook. We are live on our YouTube channel. We are live on Periscope. So feel free to go in the comments. Let us know what you think. We also will open up the lines after we get done with the toast. Now, I got this whole thing changed. I got the whole setup changed. I went out like a dummy. I went out and I bought me a new phone so that I could go on and see what was going on with my, with what was going on. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on with the stuff that's popping off, right? Because I'm not able to stream the way I usually stream because y'all don't see any of the stuff on the screen. My Streamlabs wasn't working, but Streamlabs don't appear to be working on any of my Android devices. So, and I don't use iOS, so really I have no other choice. I could use Streamlabs on my laptop. But once again, I will have to go through the learning curve of learning all that when I got the simplicity of being able to stream live over the internet like I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm using another software package that allows me to stream on multiple things, but it don't allow me to do as much as Streamlabs. And I sent in for information to find out what's going on. And they told me they would let me know what's going on, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, I didn't drink the water. So let's go and drink our water. Family, take some time to drink your water. That's usually what we do in the song, right? So we drink our water, and but this is all about us getting ourselves ready so that we can go on and toast our ancestors and have some fun. We're going to have a discussion talk today. I have a couple of things that I do want to talk about as far as grifting. And I want to look up the word grifting so that we can all be on the same page of understanding what I'm talking about. Grifting. We're going to look up the dictionary. Engage in petty or small-scale swindling. This is what grifting is. And what we have is we have a lot of grifting popping off in our community. Conscious community, unconscious community, church community, political situations. We have a lot of grifting going on in our community, and we need to go on and have this conversation. And I know I might rub some people the wrong way because some of the people that I may mention as far as the grifting piece may be some of your favorite people. But hey, what the fuck? I ain't got nothing else to do. It's Imani. We got time to talk. Actually, I do have a meeting that I need to be at, and I'm going to try to make this as fast and quick as I can, and I will try to make it over to that meeting. But, things start off late for me because I had to challenge a few of my grades because right now I'm sitting in a classroom and I challenged them to write because they wouldn't do some stuff, and I figured since they refused to do the work that was being asked of them that they obviously had the material mastered and they had the skills to go and prove that. So I challenged one group to write a one-page report on the chapter we was reading. And I challenged another group to write 2 pages on the chapter we was reading. I had some good writing in there. But then, on the other hand, families, we need to get involved with our educational institutions because there is a lot of lack. And there's a lot of stuff that's happening that's not really good. So I'm going to leave this definition up for grifting. I will come back to that. But also, I want to look up a couple of things. For example, cost. I want to see how much it cost for Revolt Summit. I wanted to see how much the tickets were for that. 2019, get your Los Angeles passes. They had it in Atlanta, and I just wanted to see what the ticket cost was for this thing. It's already over. It says, sorry, this event has already taken place, 18 and over. And I wanted to see how much it costs. And also we'll look at but I was hearing in Los Angeles, the tickets were about $300. But I could be wrong. Somebody that has that information, please call in and let me know. Because I don't want to be dogging nobody if I don't really need to be dogging them. Understand what I'm saying? And we're going to look at the list on here. But then I also have a question about, because we also have foundational, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the foundational 2020 Foundational American Conference. Let me look that up. Foundational Foundational American Conference 2020. I know y'all gonna get mad at me. It's cool. It's cool. I don't mind. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? There we go. We got somebody talking about it. It's Foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black Americans count because I want to ask questions. You know, pissing some of y'all. All right, cool. 2020 and more. It's on Kickstarter, and I have a question, but it's a video. I can't show the video. Hold on.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land,
I will play the commercial. Well, actually, that's not the commercial. Let me go.
This call is being recorded.
We got people here. I found it. So we'll be able to go there directly and we don't have to do the whole thing. I have somebody on the line. So, who this on the line? Who this breathing on my line? Golly. Who this on the line?
This is Possessed. I just logged in.
Okay, how you doing today?
Okay, and you?
I am doing good. We're about to get down to the toast, and then we'll get into the discussion. And the discussion topic for today, real quick, will be grifting. It depends on how many people call in because we have what I call a grifting phenomenon that's popping off in our community, and I want to just talk about it and ask some questions because I just came back from the ADOS conference. It was in either September or early October. I can't remember. And now we got a bunch of other stuff popping off, and I just have some questions to ask. And as far as us in discussing as a family. But first off, family, everybody gonna drink their water. I'm gonna drink my water. Y'all gonna drink y'all water. I'll put on some water drinking music for y'all. Drink. So we didn't get to finish the song properly because Brother Tim totally messed it up. But I'm going to go and pour me some ambrosia. I'm going to start brewing soon. I promise. I didn't go out and get the stuff yesterday. Some other stuff is going on. I can't really talk about it till after Umoja. After Umoja, I'll be able to talk about some of the stuff that's going on with me that's kind of slowing me down because we got to get our house ready because a major change is happening. So I want to make sure that I am totally in the clear and not violating any of my promises. So I got to hold off until Umoja. After Umoja, actually it'll be on Coogee Shackley. I'll be able to kind of let y'all know what's kind of going on, some of the stuff that's slowing me down. But anyway, what I want to do is first we want to toast. We want to toast the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that creator and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move on and we move to our list of our ancestors. And I'm going to read through them. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Texan, Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, George, and William Walter, Christopher, Fanny Gasson, Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fee, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Jimmy Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Pat Mount, Rob, Malika Fakour, Dr. Mary Ann Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Ajidi, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley, and Alexa brothers, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, James Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rennerman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Cameron Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Milton Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Ware, Levita Farmer, Ango Sosu, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Alex Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Edgar Trish Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keacher Larice, Linda Watson Hammond, Gerald Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Major Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quills, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormons, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Haley Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinez, Adele Mattel Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, hold on. Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Harkrow, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillimon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Janet Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Paris, Elder Pasigi Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Denise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scannelberry, Wilson Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratt, where we at? I started trying to do the memory thing. Eugene Spradley, Kevin Spradley, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Naylon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, R.G. Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Bookie, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mamina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boyd Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Marky, Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Don Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Evan Brooks, William and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harrington McKay, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker. Thought I solved that problem. I guess I'm going to have to go in there and cut that off. Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, President Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, and Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ada Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alvis Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erliston Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Gene West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.A. Brownie Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easy, JaVale McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, Sheckham Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cofer, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby. Try to connect to your phone. Turn on your phone Wi-Fi or mobile data system. Refresh. What is going on here? It's saying it's trying to connect to my phone, but it can't connect to my phone. I did turn off the Wi-Fi. No, I didn't turn off the Wi-Fi because I wouldn't be streaming. I know why. It's not connected to my phone. Okay. All right. Only makes sense. All right. Shelby McClendon. We got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cunder, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Kwesi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clay, Leonard Jones, Shade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denisa Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gatt, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Jasandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henrietta 62nd, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al Alti, Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Trisilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, T.L.R. Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamira Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samantha DeMond, Ethel Marshall. We have Steve Dougie Shelton, and we have William Bill Walker. Now, there's two more names that I didn't add on here yet, and I want the person to know that is a mistake of the mind and not of the heart. I didn't write it down, and I can't access my phone because I went out to change my phone because I thought that that would solve a problem far as us streaming, but obviously it didn't. So now I'm sitting up here looking stupid because I don't have two names of somebody that trusted me to put them on the list, but they will be on the list tomorrow. I will try to remember to write them down. I will do the best that I can, and I apologize. So, because we got two ancestors missing. I know for some of y'all that's not a major thing, but for me, this is what I do, and I like to be up on what I'm doing so that I can make sure that the ancestors are receiving the respect that they need. All right, so family, now, moving on from the ancestors, we have read the list of our ancestors, and we thank them for being present in our lives for the time that they were, and even the ones that we don't know. And we want to thank them for allowing us to be in this line, allowing us and preparing the space for us to come into that family line. And we want to pledge to them that we will use their wisdom and we will use their power and we will use the energy that they are sending our way to go in and conquer this moment. And speaking of this moment, we raise our glass to the moment. Right now, we are on Imani, as y'all know. Man, oh man, I want to send a round of applause to all my Imani babies. Let's get it up, get it up. All right, family, I want to once again show my appreciation for those that are taking the time to find out what day you was on. Because like I said, we are working on an e-course where I'm going to break down the days, the colors, and all that stuff so that you will understand a little bit more, because our ancestors set up a system where we could go on and find out about ourselves based on a 7-day week. Powerful information that I think that we need to really start exploring and learning how to use it so that we can move closer to being masters of ourselves. So now, here we go. For those that don't speak today is called Imani for us. That's on the journey, and we want to activate our reticular formation, and we want to find Imani. You know what I'm saying? Faith. You know what I'm saying? Where's that faith been active right now? I want to give a good example of the faith at work, because we got a group of ADOS people down at the early voting center right now, passing out information, working down there, volunteering, as far as being, far as getting the word out about ADOS, as well as informing people about who they could vote for, as far as individuals that are looking at a black agenda. You know what I'm saying? And vetting the people that who will be on the ballot coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Who will be on the ballot that are looking at our agenda and looking at reparations. All right, so that's an example of the faith out there. I want you to activate your reticular formation. I want you to find Imani out there for those that don't speak the language. And if you haven't figured out yet, Imani means faith. Harmony is the modic principle of the day. Trust. Trust is what is the principle that we teach the young people on this day. Red is the color, as you can see by the red cat in shirt, the Gye-Nyame Journey media shirt. You know what I'm saying? With the phoenix in the middle and the cat in at the bottom. Yeah, we not playing, right? Male name for the day is Kwesi. Female name is Akusua. So we raise our glass to this moment, because in the moment is where we have power. This is what separates us from the myths and the legends and the gods and the goddesses and all of the great powers, because we are able to take action in the moment, right? We are able to make a change if we are utilizing the power of our moment and moving forward, right, family? We have a responsibility to clear the way for the next generations. So we raise and we salute and we honor our pledge to our ancestors, and we honor our promise to our future generations by doing what we're supposed to be doing and working in the way that we are supposed to be working. We raise the glass and we say Ashe. From there, we toast our children, our children's children, on to infinity. On into infinity. We toast and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to all of our relations, right? All the things that we are related to. And you can't name nothing in this universe that we are not related to in some form or fashion, family. So we raise it up and we salute all of those relations. From there, family, we move on. And this is that selfish toast. What is it that you need in this moment to build and move towards the greater you? You had that moment. Take it. Ashe. From there, family, last but not least, I want to salute the most mighty, the greatest, the most inspiring, the boldest, and the wisest individual in the room. And you know who that is? That just happens to be you. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's you. Whether you're listening to us live now or you're listening to us later on, I want to toast you and we want to say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family. Got to be the court. Lord have mercy. Now it's tasted a little bit lemony. So it's moving towards the acidic state, the drink that I'm drinking. Our caller, we finished our libations and you was patient all the way through, and I want to thank you. Do you have anything that you want to share? I guess she's not there right now. All right.
No. Is there anybody else on the line?
Nope, it's just you right now. Do you? You got a business. You don't want to advertise your business, because you be coming and you be supporting us over at Gye-Nyame Journey. So for the people that do listen, let them know a little bit about your business before I get into my madness, because I'm about to go in for a minute.
But you said it's just me on the line.
That don't mean that this is just gonna be you forever.
Okay, I'll advertise my business later. Maybe next time.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. So here we go, family. Let me do this first. Since she won't advertise her business, let me go and do mine. We're going to post it up. Family, I want you to check out our free e-course. Once again, our free e-course. I'm posting it up right now. posting it up here live right now. Somebody else on the line. Who that on the line?
This is Brother Shaka.
What's up, Shaka? What's going on, brother?
Man, everything. Hey, today is Sunday. I know it's not supposed to be a work day, but I'm really putting things together. Last time I talked to you, said I was gonna put this house together as a live streaming house, and that's what's going on right now. So just doing a little bit of rearranging and organizing my thoughts and the mechanics of this vision and making it all work out.
That sounds pretty good, man. You can't do no better than that. You know what I'm saying? You start from there and build it. Hey, and you said he said he's gonna make it a streaming house, family. I want y'all to understand what he's onto something. He's onto something big now. Because that's if I could take the Gye-Nyame house to that level, I definitely would. But I ain't got the money. The economics won't allow me to do it. But it is what it is. It is what it is, family. It is what it is. So,
man, I'm gonna tell you what. I think my superpower, and I think I've stated this before because this is constantly where I'm at. My superpower is doing the most with the least, and I think that we have the innate ability to hone in on that energy and to really, just the way the blessings are happening right now. Go ahead. I cut you off in mid-sentence.
No. I'm cool. Because what I'm trying to do right now is I'm putting up advertisements for the free e-course before I go into what I was going to talk about. Because one of the things I want to talk about today, because I got a few questions for the community. Because one of the things that I noticed that's popping off a lot is that we got a lot of grifters in our community, man. A whole lot of grifters. Free GNJ eCourse.com. We got a lot of grifters in our community. Man, they ain't even let me post it up on my thing. So I don't know what's going on with this app. I mean, it's a lot of crazy stuff. But like I said, it's cool. But anyway, so what do you mean, brother? I tell you about grifters. Let me tell y'all. Let me share. Let me back up a little bit. So, one of the things that I in my studies, I was rereading Destruction of Black Civilization, and we kind of spoke about this before. And in ancient times, we allowed for our people to have a right of dissension. This means that if you no longer liked where you were able to take you and your group, pack up, and move the hell on. And this was a mind state that we had because of where we existed. Resources were not so meager that you could really affect me. We could be living 2, 3, 4, 5 miles apart and not even know of each other's existence because we would never really clash or have to clash about the territory. You understand? Because a lot of the territories was able to produce and take care of their populations. So there was no need for individuals to go out and to conquer others, even though that did happen in Africa. And a lot of times people want to look past that part in our history. That shit did happen. But then now we're faced with West Asians who had a whole different philosophy about that. And let me go into that a little bit. What we call the right of dissension in the West Asian mind state is called treason. And it's punishable by death because there was no way that you could break off and go and set up a village somewhere else and not affect me because we would eventually have to be fighting over resources. As a matter of fact, if you look at West Asian history is about conquering to take other people's resources, whether it was knowledge, whether it was fuel, whether it was women. You know what I'm saying? They was coming to take it because they had a lack of it. And they believed that the world had a limit on it, so they wanted to control it all. Because the more you control, the better you can control the price. You can make it look like it's rare and increase the price. So what we got going on in our community is we still got a mind state where we are allowed to grift. No, not even grip. We are allowed to split off and just set up our own shit. Do our own thing. Change a couple of words in the language and do our own thing. But then now I got to ask the question, is that the right thing to do now? In the time and place that we are in. Because right now we are, in many ways, in the position that West Asians were at the beginning of this historical epoch. We're looking at limited resources. We're looking at limited room. We're looking at limited space to do anything. So for all these groups to be breaking off, like there's a plethora of resources, like there's a cornucopia just waiting to give everybody everything. That's not the fact today. So the question I want to ask is it healthy for us to constantly be breaking off? Now, I'm not talking about those new groups, you know what I'm saying, that are popping up and springing up. I'm talking about where individual, and grifting is where, let me go back and read this definition for you. Grifting, engaging in petty or small scale swindling. Where you have individuals out here, that's looking at all of the momentum that's being built up in this whole conscious community right now, and they're trying to grift off of the new consciousness that's coming in. You understand what I'm saying? So they're setting up little schemes, they're setting up little plans, and they're trying to make as much money off of this conscious period as they can, rather than getting in and actually doing some of the work. Right? Because now, I posted up earlier on Gye-Nyame Journey's timeline a video by his name is Jeremy Gumpong or something like that. He's in Athens, Atlanta. Let me find my Hootsuite page and I'll go on and read it to y'all real quick. And he argues that part of being human is taking risk. When you eliminate the risk, right, you stop individuals from being able to participate in things in a humanly fashion. So we have a lot of people trying to set up things that requires no risk on their part. Absolutely no risk on their part. So it's like, then how are they helping us grow? Risk, when you take a risk, what you're saying is, look, I got skin in the game. And you have a lot of people who don't want to put their skin in the game, but they want to play the game. So they'll ask you to put your skin in, and they'll ask them to put their skin in, and they'll ask them to put their skin in, when in fact, if the thing goes wrong, I lose absolutely nothing. I benefit regardless of whether you lose or you win. And I'm wondering, is that healthy? That's grifting. That's what a grifter does. A grifter hangs around the periphery, right? And rather than getting involved, they do just enough to get attention. And with that intention, they try to magnify it and they try to grow a following from there, and they fleece all of the people that come to them. And I'm wondering, can we afford this in our movement? Can we afford this to continue to happen? And Brother Hatem, what are you talking about?
Absolutely. I mean, let me, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So, first of all, in some people's eyes, we are that, what are you calling it? Grifter?
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Grifter, go ahead.
Grifter?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And some, I mean, because Hatem, the thing is that like you have a product, that ambrosia. People who are capitalizing and streamlining kombucha will look at you and say, oh, that's just kombucha. And they'll minimize the value of what you have and what you're producing for your tribe or your community. But the piece is that if you have the influence in your tribe or your community, nothing that none of them say is relevant. On the flip side,
go ahead, bring it.
I see on the flip side, not only from a state of rites of passage, but a state of, hello?
That's me, go ahead.
All right. So when I look at fraternalism all together, not just Black Greek organizations or Greek organizations or however, when you identify with the fact that the ancient state of fraternalism, it started with Masonry, right? And so there are those who belong to these organizations that were founded by Masons and that were brought into a certain standard through the history and through the doctrine. Now you've got other organizations that were not founded by, per se, Masons, like even one of the Black Greek organizations that came later was the Iotas, right? And a lot of the flack that they got was that they weren't original, that they weren't a part of the original association or what do they call it? The Pan. Oh man. So moving on it. I'm having the damnedest time with words this morning, but moving on. When we have people who are taking sidebar or might eavesdrop and catch enough of the language to be able to say, hold on, they talking something totally different. And they run off and they go into their classrooms and they're like, all right, I go. Y'all say I may, right? And then that turns into a whole different thing that's taken out of a certain context. And you going into, these classrooms where they seem to speak the language because they know one word, but they're still disconnected.
Right.
So that only brings value up to you who come out of a space of legitimacy, because what you call grifting, I call clandestine. And clandestine is ultimately, we gonna start our own thing. It's gonna sound like this, it's gonna look like this, and we making it all up. And we making it up because the people that are not connected to the whole of it don't know the difference. And that's what hinders not just Black movement, but any movement towards progress where people, they're not just culture vultures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what that's basically, okay, clandestine, grifting, culture vultures. That's all the same conversation. It's folks who are capitalizing off of what they don't know. And so when it goes a whole 360, they will see the detriment in that. That's just the way that the universe is designed. We don't have to do anything different. We don't even have to acknowledge them, because acknowledging them is giving them a commercial.
Now, but this is the question. What happens, for example, when they're advertising their drink that me and you make, and we keep all of the enzymes and stuff alive, and we try to give people the real product so that they can actually where they get some of these benefits. What happens when a grifter start selling to your tribe or selling to our tribe and selling them something that's not doing shit, or they're using the language and they're able to reach more because it's a little bit more controversial than what you have? Because what we have right now is we have a bunch of conscious grifters that are able to reach more because they know how to use these tools a little bit better than we do. And I'm going to talk about some grifters in a second. And it becomes problematic because now we got people listening to those that don't have the skills or don't really have their heart in it. It's about, I'm going to make some money. And that becomes very dangerous. It becomes a capitalistic game that ends up hurting us in the long run. Because now we're looked at as, after this shit goes down, we're looked at as some motherfuckers that's taking advantage of people. Because they're going to group all of us together, brother. regardless of whether they're clandestine or not. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't necessarily we don't control the narrative. We control the narrative within our tribes and within the people that we talk and within the people we come in contact with, but we're not contacting 150,000 people. We're not able to throw up no Kickstarter and get really any real support. But yet, those that are on the fringes of what we do, they're able to listen. There's some people out there popping. I'm about to get down into it right now. First one, let's talk about. I heard that the ticket price for this Revolt Summit, because they had a Revolt Summit in LA and they had one recently in Atlanta. I heard the prices was up to around $300 to $500 for the whole weekend or something like that. And maybe those was the exclusive packages. But when we're talking about black people, the question I have to ask is, what segment of the population are you reaching for? Now, you have political talk, you have all this stuff, but the question is this designed to reach us? You understand what I'm saying? It's like, but it has our pictures. It has some of the talking points that some of y'all got. You understand what I'm saying, Shaka? So we got big, major competition out here. We got Puff Daddy, you know what I'm saying, doing what you doing. Trying to do what you do. He ain't necessarily trying to sell no kombucha, but when it comes to bringing people enlightenment, we got Puff Daddy doing this right now, Brother Shaka. You know what I'm saying? With the Revolt Summit, which is, in a sense, controlled by AT&T and Comcast. Now, for those that are not in the
Well, you know what?
Go ahead.
So let me just say this. Where we are in our own narrative, Hatem, where we are in world history is you have created components and I have created components that work together, meaning that if we building a vehicle, we can both put together what collectively builds a Maserati. What we have not done yet is even turn the key, let alone test drive it. We only have components. You know, the G&J Mall might represent an alternator, right?
Mm-hmm.
A symbiotic cipher might represent an exhaust. But at the end of the day, what we have not yet done is initiated takeoff, initiating an operation where everybody who is a part of our unit is moving together, not just on one event, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me step back for a second and just tell you something that happened this morning. All right. So last night, I went across the street and I ran into two elders that, at least on a monthly basis, go from Cleveland to Columbus and Columbus back to Cleveland, right? Mm-hmm. One of them has a marketplace here. One of them has, does educational stuff in both cities. Now, here's the piece. You and I, we have a commodity. I went across the street last week and sold all of my Red June, or sold the education of the Red June. Because like I said, I would much rather step into a place and have people pay me for the education than to sell the elixir, because that is a sure way for them to know that, no, this brother ain't selling me no poison. He giving me something where I can produce my own stuff, right? And so the piece is that when I decided that there are, right across the street from me, there's 4 different venues to entertain these workshops, these sip and paint, if you will, these small, intimate performance gatherings. And I decided this morning, I'm going to go ahead and make some calls so I can book these events, not just in Cleveland, but in Columbus. I call my one DJ friend who stepped on the stage with me and my band before. And twofold, we're going to ask him to officially join the group. And number two, to use his venue in Columbus at his barbershop as a space to host one of these sipping and paint, right? And so immediately when I called him, he's like, oh, man, shocked. Man, hold on, before you even talk. I just had a dream last night that I was at a sip and paint event, and you was a part of it. I haven't talked to this brother in months. This just happened before we got on the line, right? So the piece is that what I know is that what's going on with us and the energy right there, and a lot of times that the regular, the folk that entertain or patronize the what's his word, mundane, they ain't gonna get it because we are evolving. We are evolving as a people because when we get into each other's movements and we respect what each of us are doing independently enough to be able to see the rhythm happening as it's happening, then that's not just, it's not telepathy, it's anticipation. Because if you know my spirit like I know your spirit, you know his spirit, then we are all moving together as long as we keep that all in the same conversation. But what happens a lot of times is that we get so focused on protecting what we're doing independently that we step out of the major conversation. And we're looking at these things that make us feel a little bit more insecure about how we're dealing with people because we don't know at all if it's resonating on that higher level. And what I'm saying is that beyond all of that nervous energy, we are outside of our comfort zone. And that's where we grow. And that's where if we trust in each other outside of our comfort zone, then we as a unit will grow. And so if we can just get to that point where right now I'm booking a tour, a symbiotic cipher tour. I would like to have as many dates in Columbus as I have here in Cleveland so that you can bring your product, I can bring my product, and guess what? We are the artist vanguard. So when it comes to me, Eddie, Allende, Kurt, all the artists and all the poets and all the people who have something to say in this conversation of oneness, this alignment process of the healing arts and solution-based media, which is what you provide, is media. You have the most content than anybody else in this movement right now because you do this daily. You create content every single day, right?
Yeah.
Now it's time for us to step into a space where I'm able to call you and say, yo, make room for an intern. I got you. And for you to be able to delegate your post-production and your promotional aspect to somebody who does that full time. Because what you do full time as a nation builder first is your family. So when you are able to step back into the rhythm of your family without having to focus so much on the stuff that we're not doing, the stuff that becomes a task because it's not our specialty. We get one of these CCAD students that does that and that needs to get letters of recommendation, and we give them that little bit of work to do. And when they get that letter of recommendation from us, the stamp of the movement is what takes them further. Right now, people don't see it because it's not history yet. But when they see that Gye-Nyame symbol on the letter, or they see the Black Phoenix on the letter, they're going to understand that this is something that's been around. Just last night, I had somebody come over to my dwelling and tell me that, I've known you, Shaka, for a whole decade. And when I first met you, you were way conceited. You were way like, you always got to be the boss. You know what I mean? But then I saw you at your daughter's birthday party performing, and I realized that all this time, you deserve that ego because you can back it up. I've never seen anybody do what you do. So after a decade of saying that you know me, to the point where you're in my house and you realize, now I see you. We have to give them time. We got to give them permission to go back and check themselves about what they were missing because of their own thought process. How come there are people that identify you the same way, but at the same time, we need to give them an opportunity to see us in our greatest moment.
Well,
and sometimes our greatest moment is just us doing what we do. And you do that, and you bring, because you are of the community, you bring a lot of people from the community. You got a vibration that's different than a lot of folks that's out there. They ain't no imitating no Hatem. Ain't no imitating me. There are people that, okay, people do it. You know? And when I say imitation, I'm talking about like, yo, you already know there are industry folks who have stolen my music. There are industry folks who have stolen my concept.
Hold on, stop right there. Stop right there. Because this is what I want. Because, like, for example, this is the danger of the whole grifting piece. So they had this thing called the Revolt Summit. And they dedicate a little bit of time to the politics and other stuff. So, and it's more of like a extended concert. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, if it's that, then keep it at that. Don't necessarily mix in the politics, because we have a serious battle up here. And I will go through because I'm running out of time. But, they had a day where they focused on power and politics. And, they got, it's not, they're not bringing in people that can really speak to this. They're bringing in those motherfuckers that's on the fringes. Once again, we got a bunch of grifters hanging on here. And this ain't the only thing. But let me go down here and check out this ticket price. Check this out, Shaka. So for the Atlanta piece, here we go. Listen up, family. For the Atlanta piece, it was $199.50 for the 3 days. And VIP.
What do you get?
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna read to you what you get for the price. Hold on. It's on here. And then for the VIP pass, you get the $649.50. $649.50. All right. Mm-hmm. So for everything, for the basic pass, you get access, keynotes, panels, fireside chats, town halls, live performances, interactive sessions, and official summit events, and more. Reserve limited one-on-one office hours with industry experts and cultural leaders. Okay. Access Revolt Summit Gallery featuring exclusive art curated by top artists and muralists. Access AT&T Studio to network, learn, and build. But you get all that with the VIP. With the VIP and perks, you get a dedicated VIP check-in and express entry. You get reserved VIP viewing.
Man, stop. Time out.
Go ahead. All right, no, I ain't stopping. Hold on. Reserved VIP viewing area, all stages. And you get a VIP hospitality lounge, premium restroom, charging stations, refresh modules, and more. This is a weekend for a group of people whose median wealth is $1,700. For the VIP is $699. My question is, who is this conference for? All of the pictures that they're showing, I'm seeing black people. They're talking culture, they're talking politics, they're talking economics, but what I don't see is I guess we could say we got expert entrepreneurs there. I can read down through some of the lists of some of the people that's going to be there, but I'm not going to do that. So now what this is a grifters conference. Because it's those that are coming into the conference and saying, boom, I'm going to go here because they're going to have this conversation, blah, blah, blah. They paid $199, walk out exactly the same. With the same amount of information that they had before, and in some cases, the wrong information. This type of shit for me, is kind of dangerous. Especially if you don't know, if you just now coming into the information, you're liable to run into somebody that's going to put you on a path that might take 3 years for people to get you off because you went to this conference and you got pumped up with the wrong information. Not realizing that we as a people, we are in dire straits. Now I got to ask a question about this one. So we got the Foundational Black American Convention. I know some people might get hot about this one here. Some people might get hot about this one here because, brother, I tell them I'm going to ask the question. Now, this one is a community networking event. And I think, let's see who's backing me. Filmmaker and activist Tariq Nasheed is organizing the Foundational Black American Convention that will take place in Atlanta in 2020. This event will be a think tank that comes up with solutions for foundational Black American agenda. Some of the topics that will be discussed are strategies on getting reparation, organizing Black voting packs, creating directories to connect with Black business, organizing retainer pools for Black lawyers, and much more. Risks and challenges. The only challenge we see is getting an appropriate size venue for the convention. There's already a strong buzz for the event, and this is why it's important to reach our goal in a timely manner so we can have the production and venue issues covered. Learn about accountability on Kickstarter. Now, let's look at what you get. At the $50 mark, which they got 39 backers for, you'll be granted general admission to the FBA conference. Okay. For the 100.
Okay.
For the 100, you will get a prime seating for all the panels at the convention, plus you will get your name listed on the wall of Warriors media display at FBAC 2020. For $200, they had 27 backers for that, you will get an exclusive VIP wristband, plus you will get a complimentary gift bag. 10 backers on that so far. That's $2,000. All right, for $500, meet and greet pass. You'll get an exclusive souvenir program book of FBAC 2020 and get an exclusive pass to take photos and have a meet and greet with future guests, celebrities, and panelists. Plus, your name will be listed on the wall of Warriors. For $900, you will get a corner of a general vendor booth spot with a 2 by 1 by 8 foot table and chair. That's $900. For $1,500, you get a VIP vendor booth placement. You will get a VIP vendor booth in a prime high traffic location. You will get multiple tables and chairs for your products. Plus, you will get your name and business listed in the souvenir program book for the convention. For $3,000, you get a VIP event sponsor listing. You or your business will be listed as a sponsor for the convention. You have the option to have your name and photo featured in the program book. You have an exclusive all-access pass for the event. You will have the option to get a prime vendor booth. You have the option to participate on certain discussion panels at FBAC 2020. Brother Hatem, what's the problem with that? Nothing. But let me ask you a question. This is sponsored by Brother Tariq Nasheed. Question. This brother done brought out all these movies. He crowdfunded all the movies, sold it back, made money. This is my question. And I know some of y'all is going to get very sensitive about this. He's making all this money off these movies. Why not secure the venue? Him and some of the other, because he got primetime friends. You know what I'm saying? Because Boyce Watkins gonna want to be there. He's supposedly balling. He got other friends out there that's big time in his area, and they're all in many cases are generating some form of income from this. This is why I wanted to talk about risk at first. Why not take the risk and secure the venue, and then get your money back off of ticket sales? Skin in the game, family. Listen.
So can I
go ahead? Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, what we identifying with, and we knew this. Listen, I knew this. When did Dave Chappelle's Block Party come out? 15 years ago?
Maybe longer than that. You old.
Maybe 15, 20 years ago. The one thing that I recognize is that here's the piece. There's Dave Chappelle's Block Party that happened almost 40 years after Watts Stacks. You remember Watts Stacks?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Watts Stacks was a documentary. Yeah, Watts Stacks was a documentary that was done post-riot in response to the social conditions in Watts County. It was a wonderful scenario. You had Richard Pryor involved. Isaac from the Love Boat was in there. Everybody from Stax Records, the staple singers, Isaac Hayes, a lot of folks that really you didn't hear about until Watts Stacks. These were the folks, these were the artists these were the vanguard artists of that movement. I'm talking about Richard Pryor, everybody on Stax Records, and some other entertainers that had some things to say about their city. Now, the reality is that is still resonating, because even though the artists were in the mix of the movement, they made sure that these artists that drew the audience were able to, it did it so the audience was able to follow the movement. They were able to follow the commentary. Dave Chappelle's Block Party, on the other hand, put the artists in the front. But what was the movement behind it? You had Fred Hampton Jr. speaking there. But what was the move? You had Dead Prez speaking there. But what was the overall message that resonated with us after the Dave Chappelle Block Party? In fact, when we watch it, do we watch it to watch part of history, or do we watch it because of the musicians and the artists?
For the musicians and artists.
Right?
Right.
So now you go back to to what you just read, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yo, there will be artists, there's free performances. But the thing is that what doesn't resonate with me as a vanguard artist is that there is nothing said about who the artists are, what they stand for. Am I going to see Gucci? You know what I mean? I don't even know what Gucci sound like. I'm just saying, am I going to see Young Pharaoh? Am I going to see, who are these people? Because I'm lost in the conversation, because I'm not in it. You follow what I'm saying? So that's the detriment in it. If there was a question in the beginning, yes, that is the detriment in it, is that you got people that are squandering resources to put these events together without really going through an alignment process themselves, without really going through a community building or even a nation building process themselves, right? And I'm not speaking about, listen, I know that Brother Tariq is, when it comes to skin in the game, he's doing what he needs to do. And as far as the risk, like, you don't, when you attack him, you ain't attacking other names that are supporting him. It's just him. So he's high posting and all alone in the public eye. But at the same time, if you believe in the work and the things that he's educating people about, then then you're part of his flock, and that's why you're going. It ain't got nothing to do with all the amenities of none of that. It's that Tariq is doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my $199 up.
But listen to what I'm saying, bro. Right? The movement is important. They need to secure the venue. He has possibly made millions of dollars off of a product. Now, if it's that important, why do you have to crowdfund this one? They already got $18,000 raise. What I'm saying is, for example, this is the reason I'm asking the question, because we wanted to bring Hidden Colors to Columbus for an early preview. But in order for us to bring it for an early preview, we had to pay a premium price, which is fair because this is your movie. Even though some people in our circle donated money for it, right? That's neither here nor there. Even in chump change, because I know motherfuckers don't respect. I respect all donations that come my way, right? So, but certain motherfuckers don't respect, so I don't know if that's Tariq. But what I'm going to say is this. We was willing to pay the premium price and bring the movie here, but we couldn't bring the movie here because in order for the movie to be showed, we had to show it in a theater. Which means, now, because I don't know if you ever tried to rent a theater, which means that first off, we're bringing a black movie. We got to show it in a place that's already going to be, in a sense, hostile to it. And then on top of that, now I got to pay the white folks rent because most people I don't know no black movie theaters in Columbus. I don't know, maybe it's a few in Cleveland. But I don't know no black movie theaters, so I got to go and put money in their pocket in order for me to bring it. When I actually have a space where I can show the goddamn movie and get the information out. And I might be able to show it 3 and 4 times and bring in and be able to, one, pay you your premium price and make some money. Now, you require for me to take a risk in order to do it. I'm just saying the same for you and having a convention. Why not take the risk? If you got the dough, you can make your money back because there's people interested. And then on top of that, I'm looking at those prices. I just came from an ADOS conference where they charge $15. $15 for 2 days. $15. Taking into account how much money black folks have. I'm talking about the masses because I don't want to get into the...
And so that's the piece though, man. Listen, $15 is what you ask for somebody who want to come get some information and they on the fence, they decide, oh, I see what they're about. Thank you, but I'm not interested. $199, you're looking for a devotee. You're looking for somebody to say, you know what? I'm going to put that up because I know that's part of my initiation.
All right. But hey, I'm still kind of biting at the bit of that. I hear you. You want your devotees and shit and all that, and that's cool. But like I said, there still comes the reality of where our people are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
right.
being someone that has to look out for my people. I can understand 50. I can, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what the ticket price gonna be. But what I'm saying is, and this goes beyond even tickets. If you have been making money with the community, I ain't gonna just say off the community, with the community. If you have been making money with the community, why not take that risk? If we need to have the event secured, why not just go and secure it, right? And just get your monies off the tickets that sold. You can invite all the people and you can make deals with them so that you can tell them, listen, all right, I'm renting the facilities. I want you here. And if you could come speak to these people, you can. And call some other people that done did something like this and could help you move it to, but it's like we got dissension. So now, rather than ADOS, we're going to have a foundational black conference. This shit is confusing. Listen, family, I got to go because my family is going to get me kicked off of here real quick because they keep calling. I got people calling me. I don't know why they calling me, but I need to get up. And plus, I was supposed to be at a meeting at 1 o'clock. So let me go on and get up out of here. This is Brother Tim. I want to thank Brother Shaka for being on here. Sister, I think her name was Pizzazz. I want to thank her for being on here as well. But family, I got to go because I got a meeting. I wasn't expecting a meeting, but I got a meeting. I got to go. And, I want to remind you that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Come on now. This is a Heart of a Simple production. And of course, this is the Daily Toast. and Talk on Imani. Always strive to blow up your old paradigms. I'm out.
Peace.